How's it going, folks? We're back. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country, where I react to predominantly traditional country music. But within that family of traditional country, I also include bluegrass, western, and folk, Texas swing, and that. But it just can't be pop music, pop country. So I've got a request today, and I'm looking forward to this because it's a new group to me, and they're bluegrass, and bluegrass is growing on me a lot, and especially since I've been doing the Petersons. But the name of this song is Wildfire, and it was requested by James Simmons. And James, you said that these folks are an incredible bluegrass band. That's how I know they're bluegrass. So I didn't even listen to any of the song whatsoever. When you say bluegrass, that's not a risk, but for me, because I need, it's a donation request. So first, thank you, James, for the donation and the request. But even the donation requests have to fit within the mold of the channel, within the theme of the channel. And so anyway, I always check when somebody gives me a request for a band, whether it's a donation or not, for me to react to a song. I'll listen to 3 or 4 seconds of it just to make sure it has a country feel to it. And every so often, it's like, oh my God, what was the person thinking? Requesting like heavy metal. Like, do you even pay attention? So this one, I didn't even listen to. There you go. All right, so we're going to see what these folks have. Watchhouse, Wildfire. Here we go. The rendition or version you wanted, James. Very patient.
Brave men fall with the battle cry, and tears fill the eyes of their loved ones and the brothers in arms. So it went for Joseph Warren. And it should have been different. It could have been easy. His rank could have saved him. But a country unborn needs brave, and it spread like wildfire. From the ashes grew sweet liberty, like the seeds of the pines when the forest burns. They open up to grow and burn again.
These folks are artists. They're not just musicians. These folks are genuine artists. They're different.
And it should have been different. It could have been easy. Too much money rolled in to ever enslave. The cry for war spread like wildfire. Wildfire.
This kind of patient performing is artistry.
South was spent, but it's true to miles hatred passed down through the years. And it should have been different, it could have been easy, but pride has a way of holding too firm to history, and it burned like wildfire. I was born a southern son in a small southern town where the rebels run wild, beat their chest and they swear they're gonna rise again. It should have been different, it could have been easy the day that old war died. Hate should have gone with it, but here we are, caught in a wild
Oh, it ended there. This obviously the Revolutionary War right through the Civil War, and then he brought it up to today, and I reacted 2-3 weeks ago to Home Free's song "So Long Dixie," and I haven't posted it yet, and I'm still deliberating whether or not I'm going to, because the song was wrong-headed in its approach to talking about history and brought into contemporary related to slavery and such. It's a very wrong-headed approach. This I don't have a problem with whatsoever, because it is a real part of our history. And if you want to revisit that, and artists sometimes lead movements and are part of movements, you know, Vietnam and such. It draws people's attention. It kind of, in some ways, lets your guard down. That's one of the psychological things that goes on with comedians and musicians, in the sense that your guard is down. It's not an argumentative form. You may not like the song, you may not like the content of it, you may not like the comedy, but you're there to kind of laugh, like with a comedian, and they may say things that indict you on things, or might throw you or your type under the bus. And it can be very funny, but it can also get sort of like a message in there. And this song did that, but the thing that to me differentiates a song like this, which I think was brilliant, versus Home Free's "So Long Dixie," is that they got specific, where he said he's a son of the South, and he didn't stay in a group, but he was near a group, or there were some folks near him that were rebels, saying the South's going to rise again. The implication being there that maybe the rebel folks, maybe there's some folks who are still in favor of returning to slave days, and bring that to the forefront. Just like people talk about the Holocaust, or you're not willing to discuss things, history can repeat itself. So I get that. Pendulum can swing too far where things are way overdone. That to me was Home Free's song. If I actually decide to post that, my reaction to it, I'll let you know. Well, you'll see it. But this here was beautifully done. absolutely beautifully done, whether or not I agree with the whole message or not. And I'm not making a comment there. There was nothing imprecise about what they said in this. It was a beautiful recollection by some younger folks, obviously. I don't know when this came out. I don't do the research and all that, but it's part of our history. It's there. And how much do we need to or want to, or is it relevant to talk about? Is it overblown? Is it underblown? Like all these things, if we can have normal conversation about it without invective or assuming other people are evil no matter who they are. I mean, I'm a northerner here, and I really, maybe I probably will let that Home Freeze song, and maybe I'll post it, because the way they addressed it, me as a northern boy, it pissed me off. They threw the entire South under the bus in that one. They didn't do that here. This was just, here's kind of what happened. Here's one vignette from my life as a son of the South. Some of the rebel boys say South's going to rise again. And I know there's talk when people say the South's going to rise again, folks automatically assume they want to return to slave days. But in other ways, it's about not having a centralized government, letting the states letting the states run their own show more than Washington, D.C. telling folks what to do. But there are nuances of arguments. There's deviations in arguments. There's deviousness in arguments. There's hatred masked as just leave us be and we'll do our own thing. And, but those things can be uncovered through good discussion versus jackassery. So James Simmons, great suggestion. Great introduction to these folks. I'm just stunned at their maturity, because patience doesn't come easily. Even when a song is supposed to be down tempo and slow, it doesn't mean artists can pull it off. Some artists, you can just tell, their idling speed is 600 miles an hour. Even when they drop it back down to 10, you could just tell they just want to get on with it. And these folks just lived in that space. And the bass player in the song was absolutely brilliant. There were so few notes that he played in this. It was like every 4 or 5 seconds you might hear boom. But you have to know when to come in. It's a lot harder to move and play slowly than it is to just jam, because every mistake you make in a slow song is picked up. It's picked up by the other artists, and it'll be picked up to a lesser extent, but still picked up by enough of the audience when you make some kind of mistake going slowly. But his timing had to be just so. And you tend not to really pay attention to the bass player unless you purposely do it, because the bass is really there underneath it all to support the other levels, so to speak, of the music, which in a song like this then would be there to complement or support the lyricism. And the vocalists are there to sing the lyrics. There's just different layers of how to get a song for it to all work together. But these folks were masters of patience, and they're just brilliant musicians. I love seeing that. And patience tells me they're brilliant. Like, there are very few Stevie Ray Vaughns out there who could keep going with phrases fast and fast and fast and be like, wow. And Stevie can back off a guitar too and go slow and just very bluesy and very few notes. But folks like this, to go slowly and have it work, I don't know how they discovered one another, what their relationships are with each other. Some folks just put an ad in the paper in high school and say, we're starting a band. Well, not in the paper, now it's online, but we're starting a band. And they audition, and this guy drops out to play soccer, and this one comes in to play guitar or cello or whatever. And eventually you've got a band that works. I don't know what their relationships are, but it clearly works. So I hope that worked for you, James. Oh, what am I going to rate this? All right. The number that popped into my head immediately was a 9.7. That I just thought they brilliantly delivered what it is they wanted to say. They didn't throw anyone under the bus. They weren't nasty. They just said, here's the case. And they spoke it slowly. I mean, that's a different concept. That's a different level of artistry. So good call, James. You absolutely nailed that one as far as their ability. And wow. There you go, folks. Leave your comments. I'm sure you'll have them. And but I hope you enjoyed that. I think for what they were going for, they nailed it. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with my agreement or disagreement. What they were going for in this instance, they nailed it. And I happen to like the vehicle of delivery. So have a great day. I'll see you in another video. Keep rocking the country and bluegrass.